everyone, and welcome to the night shift. Actually, today would be considered the day shift.
He shipped,
It's
yeah.
11 a.m. As always, you're joined by Shay Tweeted That and Blindside 73 Zach. Um, Today, we're going to get into some playoff football talk. That's why we wanted to do this a little more later in the week. Not so sudden like we've been doing, but I think we've been hitting pretty good on our predictions.
hmm
Zach, how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good, man. We didn't win this weekend, but I feel like our future in Jacksonville is still pretty bright.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you too. What do you feel about the Jags going forward now?
I feel good though. My biggest issue, which hopefully it's going to be, is our DC has a issue with his first half isn't great, and his second half is brilliant. So it's like I want that to be consistent. Can we just be brilliant all half? Because like we've given up, I think it was the last 5 weeks, like one touchdown in the second half. It's ridiculous. But I feel really, really good with him. I think Trevor's in a good place. I feel like Doug Pease should win Coach of the Year, but I feel like they're probably going to give it to Dayball, but which I don't have a huge issue with. But
hmm
I feel like we got good going on. I feel like Trevor's going to be better in the system. If we can keep Ingram, because he's a free agent, I feel like that's going to help our offense more with the tight end that's consistent like that. And then, of course, we got Calvin Ridley coming back next year. I feel like we're going to be good with it. We are
I
now the
I
100.
agree. Yeah, and Trevor Lawrence started off shaky with the 4 interceptions, quickly bounced back from that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Even last week, he didn't do anything to cost them the game. He actually put them in the position to win it. Uh, yeah, I think the Jags will be a team contending in a very tough AFC, which you're gonna have Burrow, Herbert if they stop being the Chargers.
They won't. The
Mahomes, Josh
Chargers.
Allen. I'm still not quitting on
Mm.
Josh Allen. I know a lot of
I'm not
people
like
are.
quitting. I'm not quitting on him, but I feel like we need to start. Like, I don't think we need to have the full conversation. I think we need to start thinking about this conversation about this playoffs, man. He's not playing. He's not playing as good. Like, yes, Buffalo's defense was bad, but I mean, you don't put up 10 points. I'm not saying full on done with him, but I was like, we need to start talking. Like, this guy may be. I saw one thing they called him the Aaron Rodgers of the AFC. I was like, he may be on that track.
Yikes. I mean, if he is the Aaron Rodgers, he's got to win at least one ring, which I think is
True, it's
possible, but they
possible.
are. But with him getting paid the big bucks now, and then Von Miller getting that huge contract and being hurt, I just think he's too talented, and I think they're definitely going to fire Ken Dorsey as OC because the dude coaches like he's playing Madden, bro. Like,
Yeah,
he's like, all right, let's throw some bombs.
like I think
Hold on
all of
one
his stuff's
sec.
in his head. Yeah, but like I'll just get riff a little bit. I feel like all of Josh Allen, he has all the talent in the world, but I feel like a lot of it's mental stuff. He's like doing like bad plays and like they need a running back too because they can't be running ahead. He can't be their leading rusher every game. You can't be doing that. You got to kill him.
And how do they say we want to pass, catch, and running back? So they draft James Cook, and then Singletary has more targets than he did
Mm-hmm.
this season. So
And
Kyle
then Naheem
saying
Hines,
the
what he
snow
do?
affected Buffalo more than Cincy. Yeah, I mean, is this so? That's a good point. Do they want to now like say, all right, enough of this weather, let's go into a dome? Because even Miami was playing better in bad weather than the
Mm-hmm.
home team. Um, that's a great point, Kyle.
But I
Maybe the
feel like they
snow
should be
would
used to it.
definitely
That's
do.
just me though. Just like Green
They
Bay
sh-
does better,
and
or New
Josh Allen, even
England.
in college, he was used to it too. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, but Joe Burrow is just cool. Yeah,
Yeah, I mean Joe Burrow
definitely
they
a good
lose.
receiver.
Like I don't have an issue with them losing. It's more like you don't put up 10 points. Like say if they lost like a
Yeah.
shootout or something, it's like we could be having. I was like, okay, their defense isn't good enough yet. But yeah, they need another receiver. Yeah, or they need because like they got
OBJ
Naheem
was
Hines and
there.
then he's a kickoff returner.
I know they've traded for a dude just to get those. I mean, he did have two impactful touchdowns versus the Patriots, but that's literally all
Yeah,
he brought.
exactly. They don't run him on offense, so it's like you need some. I don't know what they can do, but it's like this. It's not going to work if they're not careful. Like if they're not careful, I could see like if they do this again next year, I feel like they could put McDermott on the hot seat.
I know because he's definitely changed that organization, but teams now feel rushed kind of in the in the free agency era that we put this great team together. We need to get it done. Like the windows aren't going to be, especially when you don't have a quarterback on a rookie deal, your windows are very slim. You have to hit in your draft and hope your depth is there. I don't know. I think Buffalo could still get it together. I won't quit on them. The difference between the Bills and the Cowboys is the Bills, at least a few years ago, made it to the title game versus Kansas City.
Yeah.
Dallas just hasn't done that in forever.
Yeah, Jacksonville has more playoff wins than Dallas does since their last Super Bowl, which is hilarious. I said it to every time they lose playoffs. I just said that stat to all my Cowboys friends. It's like, hey, just let you know, we've won more games than y'all have. And we've been to the AFC Championship game before that.
I know. You've been to, with Ramsey, you guys almost beat.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into that Patriots game because
because Miles Jack wasn't down. Miles Jack's still not down.
Still not to this day, but that's a story for another day. I mean, it would have been insane to see Blake Bortles
versus Nick Foles in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but I think the Eagles would have won that easily.
Probably just because Dougie P's a better play caller than Nathaniel Hackett.
Although your defense that year was one of the best in the league, led by Prime Ramsey. So,
dude, like everyone on our D line and our backup defensive end scored a touchdown that year.
I know.
It was ridiculous. Everyone was scoring.
And Leonard Fournette was nasty, bro.
Fournette was good with it. Because we didn't even have really receivers that year. It was just Fournette, and then our defense was like, let's go.
Kyle says, you can't. Making the Super Bowl is so tough, and with Josh Allen, will always make them a contender. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, some people are writing him off. But
he's too good, though, man. It's like when you have a quarterback like that, they're going to make it work. They'll figure out the salary cap. It is going to be hard if he can't get past Burrow and Mahomes, then it's like, damn, dude.
And then you got the young guns coming behind
Lawrence. Them. Exactly.
Then we got the Lawrence behind it, got Herbert behind it, you got Lamar behind him. So it's like,
well, Lamar, is he going to stay in the AFC, though? I think he's going to the Falcons. I've said that as a bold prediction, but now I see it picking traction up in the Twitter world. So I'm like, what the hell? Because the system.
I could see I could see that system.
Run first. Arthur Smith.
Yeah, because they don't want to pay him.
Quarterbacks.
Yeah, because Baltimore doesn't want to pay him all that money.
I think they do. I think they just want to give him less than what he's expecting. I think he's
that's what I was like.
$50+ million a year.
He needs to get at least what Deshaun got.
Absolutely. Deshaun
and a lot of numbers I've seen it. A lot of numbers I see is less than that. It's like 130 guarantee. He's like, he needs at least 200.
Yeah, they did want Watson too. So Atlanta was actually, weren't they? It was them and the Saints like as heavy favorites at one point.
I think he was gonna go. He was gonna go to Atlanta, and then the Browns upped the number. Guaranteed.
Fully guarantee.
And then
can't say no to that.
Exactly.
Jesus. Here's all the money. You don't even have to play, and you have this guaranteed, dude. Like what?
And you have a better at that time. You had Amari Cooper, so you have a receiver here that we didn't know Atlanta had. So it's like,
yeah, true. But now they got. But look, he'd have Drake London, then he would have Kyle Pitts, who could finally show his true potential. Oh, we have a question for Blindside. With Ridley being added, do you see Jacksonville adding any other receiver in the offseason?
I can see us doing it like in the draft, like a later pick, but I've seen all these mocks like go get Quentin Jefferson, and I swear I feel like everyone's forgetting about Ridley because like there's no way we're going to have Ridley, Kirk, Zay Jones, and then a rookie, which Zay, I get it, Zay's not as elite, but we're still paying him a bunch of money, so it's like so your rookie's going to be at best the third receiver, and then if we bring Ingram back, he's the fourth option. I'm more in the draft. I think we need like a nickel or a guard, and I'll go into that another show. But I don't see it. And I've seen Diggs is upset. Jacksonville go trade for Diggs. I've seen D-Hop wants to play in Jacksonville. Go get D-Hop. It's like, yes, D-Hop would help, but it comes a point. It's like we're gonna have all this money and receivers and nothing else on the team because we got to resign. So like we got to resign Ingram, like I've been saying, and Arden Key's a free agent, and Jawan Taylor, our right tackle, is a free agent. And I'd rather resign all three of them versus go get another receiver. Then we got $40 million in receivers. Yeah, that's too much for me.
Yeah, I would agree. I think right now they're pretty much Christian Kirk's showed he's a wide receiver one. Ridley's obviously had over 10 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards in a season,
Mm-hmm.
and now he has an upgrade at quarterback. Then Matt Ryan, obviously elite talent at some points in his career, but I think the future for Lawrence is going to be like he's going to be a 40 touchdown passer soon. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you could see why he was the number one pick now, and hopefully they could keep Doug Peterson around. How long is he under contract for?
I don't think they ever released it. I tried looking the other day, and I don't think it was ever like Urban's
I
was
never
never
heard that
released
either.
either.
Well, that's a
Urban's,
good thing.
yeah, exactly. I think Urban's was 4 years, but because we were able to fire him without paying him because of all the off the field stuff.
Which is good.
Which is good. What's also funny is like you went from one overall pick to the playoffs in a year without Urban Meyer, but I've been trying to find. So I feel like he'll stay for a while just because like he has a young quarterback he can mold into like his image and everything. So I feel like we should be good. I don't feel like he's going to be like, oh, I'm going to go to blank team right now. So I feel like we should have a few year window, and he's in charge of personnel, like 60% is him, and so it's not like he's going to have the issue like he had in Philly. So I feel like he's going to stay for a while.
Yeah, I agree. So the Jags, the Bills, we talked about them. We both feel confident. I do on the Bills at least. Quickly, Nathaniel Hackett signs with the New York Jets just a little while ago as the offensive coordinator. The former Denver Broncos head coach and former Green Bay Packers offensive coordinator. How do you feel about that signing?
Offensive coordinator?
Yeah, and Jaguars, yep. So I know you don't like them. How do you feel about this for the Jets?
I mean, I feel like part of it's the Jets issue is like I feel like a lot of like the better offensive coordinators wouldn't go there because they feel like they're only going to have a year or two or like a year because like if they don't do good, I think they're going to fire Salah. Even though I feel like they shouldn't, but I feel like the offense being as bad as it was last year, and they do have a running game, so he could repeat like what he did in Jacksonville, just run the ball, and then just they can play great defense. But I personally don't think Hackett's that great of a OC. But I mean, because he had Rodgers, and then like I commented on your tweet, I was like, he had Rodgers, and then he had our defense scoring all the time. So I was like, I feel like we haven't had a full. Then he was an OC in Buffalo too, and they didn't have I think it was Orton was a quarterback, which I mean, again, not a great quarterback, but he doesn't have a good one with the Jets. So I feel like it's still not gonna. Like, I don't think they're gonna get. Do they even have the money to get Aaron Rodgers? Because I know that's the thing people are saying now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They have no quarterback under. They still got Wilson on the rookie. They signed Flacco for a league minimum. They had Mike White under his rookie deal, but he was a late round pick, so I think he's a free agent. If you look at the roster, I mean, they really haven't paid anybody. Like Garrett Wilson's was a rookie.
Yeah.
Coughlin they paid, but he's not getting paid big bucks there. You saw Yusim Moa, the tight end that they got from the Bengals. Mosley. It's like Sauce Gardner was a rookie. It's like all they could easily take that 50. They're the team that's going for a veteran quarterback. I'm hearing every quarterback going.
Yeah, I see that, but I was Brady. Like, I know a lot of people like they should get Rodgers. I was like,
50 mil. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Rodgers.
Trust me, I don't think it'll be great, but I don't trust Rodgers as a leader. But I think Hackett as an OC is better than he is as a head coach. So I think teams or people.
But that's kind of a low bar, though, Shay. Let's be real.
It is, but you got to look Josh McDaniels as well. Great OC, horrible coach. You know,
True.
Can't say Matt Patricia because he's just bad at everything. You know. D'Amico Ryans as well. Like, we'll see how he's going to be as a head coach because he's a great DC. But it gets a little harder when you try to be the head coach because you get input from everywhere. It's not just one position group, and you have to lead. You have to be more of a leader. So it'll be interesting. That was just breaking news. Not much breaking news is happening. There's a lot of rumors like with coaches and people going to the Colts like Dan Quinn. Raheem Morris. So we'll see.
They did get an offensive guy.
Yeah, Fangio was a coordinator for sure.
Yeah, I'll give. Because I feel like their defense is fine, even with
Great
those.
DC.
Or there's one, Gus Bradley. He's a good DC, but he's not a good head coach.
Right. All right, so now the Giants, too, another team, a lot of people could say they suck, whatever, because they got blown out by Philly, but that team played good, man. They just have no receivers, and Philadelphia just matches up too well against a team like that. So I wouldn't write them off. I think they need to get Barkley in. I know he wants that CMC money. You might have to give it to him. Danny Dimes, you might franchise him.
Outside of franchising Danny Dimes.
Right, and then get him a receiver. Try to get D-Hop if you can.
I can see that.
Or
I feel like that's... You think OBJ will be 100%? Like back to what he was?
Now he will. I don't think he'll ever be what he was in New York. I mean, with the Rams, he did great, but he had Cooper Kupp there. That definitely helped him out, and he had a great system he was playing in that really, fed to his potential at that time of a 29-year-old receiver coming off an ACL and now his second one. So I think he's definitely would be their best receiver. I think Hodgins has good potential. Richie James.
Just paid up Galladay.
Oh God! Well, they're going to release him, and I think the dead cap would be like $13 million or something. I read.
That's bad, but it's not awful.
Yeah, I would just get rid of him, man.
No, he's bad.
He's not good for that team at all. He doesn't bring nothing at all. No work ethic, no leadership. So.
Now, would you pay Danny Dimes? That's the question.
I like Danny Dimes personally. I just think of all the quarterbacks that get thrown under the bus for having no wide receivers, he's probably had the worst. His best wide receiver since he's been in the league has been Sterling Shepard, who's always on IR.
Didn't he play with Golden Tate? I'll say Golden Tate.
He was already going. That's when he was going down.
Yeah.
But he still, that was so. Golden Tate and Sterling Shepard were his best receivers. He shows you he could run. He needs a wide receiver, big time. Obviously, teams like the Patriots need one too, but I think their core of wide receivers was better. Having Hunter Henry, Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, Kendrick Bourne. I think that's better than
Smith. Yeah. I saw this tape though. I want your opinion on it. They said they was comparing Danny Dimes to Blake Bortles. Elite running game, gets to the playoffs, running quarterback, bad receivers, gets paid, screws the
team. I mean, I think he's way better than Bortles.
I think he's better, but I can follow that. I can see how people can start comparing him like that.
I guess, but Blake Bortles never ran for 700 yards. He was definitely a guy that could bounce out the pocket.
He ran like 5, I think was his career high, I think. Like 500.
Yeah. 500, that's still a lot, though, too.
Yeah,
500, you're considered a mobile quarterback, I guess.
Especially with, I think, especially then you had Fournette eating all those carries, too. So I was like, I could follow the analogy, but
he didn't even have Saquon a lot, too. Like, until this year, Saquon was out the whole season. Then last year he played, but he was hurting. I don't know. I guess I'd like to see him get a stud receiver, just like I'd like to see Mac Jones see what he can do. And then you'll really understand, all right, was it the quarterback or was it the receivers?
No, Mac Jones, though. Okay, so if we were going in Mac, you got the whole Bill O'Brien thing now. So they're hiring him. Bill O'Brien's his offense is
former coach. Yeah, it's his former coach, so maybe they have that chemistry. But yeah, I agree. He turned Houston into a mud pit, dude. So they're not getting Hopkins now.
No. Hopkins, they trade for him. Hopkins will retire. He hates him.
He would. Absolutely.
Now, but see, I saw this thing. I was like, all right, so Bill O'Brien has been the OC for Belichick and Saban. He has not won championship with either of them.
I know, that's true.
Which I was like, I get it, Patriot, but I was like, that's kind of, you got the two stacked rosters right there in the college and NFL, and you haven't won champ with either of them. Like it's the only OC that Brady never won Super Bowl with. That's a question you might look at.
Jason Garrett was a clown.
I forgot about Jason. I forgot he was the OC and
probably the worst OC in the history of football. Like Dallas's offense got so much better without him, and I get it. They fell apart. Oh well, he's just the worst. Period. Oh my god.
It's like if you just look at the jump. I'm not sure if he's going to get a college job for a few years after that pass.
No. And then so we have that, and then Dallas. I think their defense played outstanding.
Yeah, their defense
showed some ways to beat San Fran, but Dak Prescott, I was wrong, man. I thought he could have done something. I thought I would have seen at least 2 touchdowns, but the interceptions really fucking.
Dude, you know what's bad when when the team's on Twitter is roasting him.
I know, yeah, they've been roasting him.
That's when you know it's like, okay, he can't survive there if you're. Because I mean, even good and bad, you gotta support your squad, right? They're like just like Dax cost us the game. I was like, yeah, I mean he did, but dang.
Like the second interception, all on him. The first one, I don't know. Like Michael Gallup ran a little too far out, but he could have came back. But he still threw it right to with that cornerback, San Fran Leonard, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
So Dallas, I think, obviously. With Micah Parsons probably going to be one of the best defensive players consistently because he doesn't just play the D-line. He plays linebacker, and the way he tossed McGlinchey, like he's strong as hell.
He needs to rotate a little bit because when they played him at DN all year during that stretch, he was starting to get tired. He was starting to get tired there for a while. It's like you got to rotate him out a little bit
because he's not the biggest guy. Bosa's bigger, but he's looked good as a linebacker as well. Could have had a third. Yeah, that's the thing too. Purdy, Dallas dropped 2 on him, but I think San Fran could have like 4. To be honest. So it's like, yeah, it's true. I mean, but Greenlaw, doesn't he have like a damn cast on? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I missed part of the game, so I actually missed most of that game. So like the first quarter of it, so I can't tell you on that. But let's see. Who else?
So that's it. So Dallas. So those are the teams that lost. Now let's get to the teams that won, and we'll start with the first game on Sunday. San Francisco, the 2 seed, heads into Philadelphia, who's the number 1 seed. This Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What are your thoughts on this game?
I mean, I feel like this game, honestly, I feel like this is going to be the better game. I mean, I think it's going to go down to can Purdy score on Philly or anything, because I feel like Philly can stop the run. So CMC and all them will be able to slow it down. So I think it has to be Purdy. I mean, you got the rookie in the AFC Championship. No rookies ever made it to Super Bowl. I feel like that's going to have a huge effect on how this whole game goes. I do like Jalen Hurts and those receivers. I do think those receivers may be able to give San Fran's defense some problems, just because I feel like you got Devontae Smith and AJ Brown. I feel like that's arguably the best duo in the NFL this year, receivers. So I feel like so I feel like they'll be able to score Philly. So I feel like it's going to be on Brock Purdy's shoulders. And with a rookie in this position, I'm not sure, but they're my Super Bowl pick, so I got to go with the Niners as my pick.
Yeah, so this game's definitely interesting. Of course, you have 2 teams that love to play defense. 2 teams that really don't have history together. They played one time in the playoffs before. It's not really something that I would call a heated rivalry. Yeah. But I look at this game as quarterback, as mobile as Jalen Hurts. That's what gives San Fran issues. I know they lost to a team like Atlanta with the mobile quarterback, Chicago, but that was in the rain. I get it. and that was with Trey Lance. Atlanta, I believe they had some starters out on defense. But the RPO definitely was working for Mariota and the running game there. Philly really has an offense that can beat you both ways, running and passing. And if I'm going to be honest, this game, I think they're going to go into it just like the Titans game. Titans post week 1 did not allow a did not allow a 100-yard rusher since Saquon Barkley in week 1. So Philly really didn't get the run game going, but what they did do is get the pass game going. Jalen Hurts shredded them for over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns. AJ Brown killed it, and Devontae Smith. Oklahoma versus Ohio State.
That's why I've been seeing highlights of that game popping up.
I don't think this game's going to be like that. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think Purdy showed that he could play turnover-free football and still win. He didn't do anything great, but he didn't really throw the game away for interceptions, and he could have. He could have had some. But there's some plays where he runs out, like when he's about to get sacked, he'll run backwards, and he'll look quick, and if no one's there, he throws it out of bounds, which is what I'm sure Shanahan tells him every day in practice. If it's not there, throw it away. So I'll look at this game. I'm going to take Philly, but I want to say that San Fran can win this game if they could get Jalen Hurts to do what Dak did and turn the ball over, which won't be easy because I think he only had 3 or 5 interceptions between that. And then, CMC is hurt right now. He's going to play. Debo's going to play. I know they had a defensive end for top of my dome that I don't remember his name, but he
got arrested. Yeah, they look like, from what I saw, he's going to play.
Yeah,
he's going to still play.
Yeah, because he was on the practice report, so I assume that he's gonna play. I think everyone's gonna play. Debo will play. They're banged up, but at this point, I think everyone's banged up. Maybe Jalen Hurts is probably one of the most healthy guys, even after the shoulder injury, because it looks like that's fully beyond him. There you go, Kyle.
Yeah, him or Burrow.
Burrow. Yeah, exactly. So I'm taking Philly, but if Hurts does what Dak did and turns the ball over, which I don't see because he's way more mobile, I think Philly should really have no issues winning this game. Their defensive line had 70 sacks. 4 guys had over 11 sacks. They have Fletcher Cox. They have Sue. They have Jordan Davis. So a lot of their run defense deficiencies you've been seeing on Twitter or their DVOAs, a lot of that was when Davis was out. They didn't have Sue. So with those guys there, Sweat and Riddick on the edge, that's going to be tough. Their linebackers are actually pretty good too.
Yeah, and they have Linval Joseph too. I forgot about him.
Right.
So they got stacked. That D-line stacked.
Their secondaries, their 2 corners like Bradbury and Slay, and then Gardner Johnson. It's insane what they've been able to do. And then someone that's underrated that nobody talks about is TJ Edwards. I believe he was ranked behind Fred Warner in PFF for the best linebackers. Could be 3rd, but he's a good tackler, so he's going to need to. That's what this game's going to come down to as well, is tackling. San Francisco last week was not able to get Yak from CMC, Debo, or Ayuk, but Kittle was the one that really stepped up, mainly on that blown play that he just ran out open on a defensive lineman wide open, and then Diggs, the most overrated cornerback in football, again, just like dives and just completely misses. San Fran's strength is obviously the run game. And it wasn't even their strength last week. Mitchell and CMC didn't even have over 90 yards combined, but their defense won them the game. Obviously, they gave them great field possession on that first interception. And then what happened was Dallas's D got tired out at the end, and then the run game with Elijah Mitchell mainly. CMC was on the sideline a lot, chewing the clock, and punching it in the end zone with CMC there after that Diggs, saying he couldn't see the ball.
Like I was like,
And that could be a lot of people mention this, and it ran through my head too. That was the difference of the 2 days rest. And it happens because if you look at the Rams last year, when we went and played, we beat Arizona on a Monday night game. Then we went to Tampa Bay, blowing them out. And then fourth quarter, we gassed out. So I really think the NFL needs to reconsider that Monday night garbage and really.
Yeah, that Monday night. Yeah, they should it should be Saturday and Sundays. That's it. Like I get not putting them all on. I personally think it should all be on Sunday, but I get why they don't because like the time frames and viewership and all that. I get that, but that Monday night, I was like, yeah, it's because you got Monday, and then you got to play again on Sunday, and then you want to talk about player health, but it's like it's playoffs, so it's a lot more involved. The regular season, no more Monday nights.
And a team like San Fran, you want to be good for all fourth quarters because they run the ball, and especially with Purdy, they're really going to run the ball. They're going to try to gas out the pass rush. I already know it. They're going to try to gas out Riddick and Sway on the edges. So if they can't get the run game going, this could get ugly quick. Because I've envisioned blowouts happening, but never for San Fran. For the Eagles, being at home, I think, is a huge factor as well.
Because I'll give you that. I do think though they're only going to have to worry about one of Sweat or Sweat, like because Trent Williams is going to shut one of them down. Just because
absolutely.
So it's like you only got to worry about the other one because I mean you saw what he did to Micah. Even he stoned him, and I was like, yeah, it's so you.
Well, he'll be on Sweat. Sweat will be on that side. Riddick will be on McGlinchey, which is probably their weak spot.
Yeah.
Philly has to get up. That's another key to it. I'm gonna say they score 27 and San Fran scores 17. This, I just throw score predictions out there. Trent Williams is
that's what I said. Like he's
offensive lineman in football. It's not even a question at this point.
Which is really interesting considering how he's older than like all of them now.
34 years old.
He's just like, no,
well, McGlinchey stepped up until Micah Parsons sunned him. He threw him like a rag doll. But I get it. It's Micah Parsons.
That's what that's my point. You saw that, and then you saw what happened when he went against Trent Williams. Trent Williams stoned him. But I don't. My score, like I said, 49ers were my pick when I started, so I might as well go with it. I'm gonna go 27 to 20 Niners.
All
right. Now there is a question. I
throw your score in the chat. Go ahead.
No doubt. Do you say if the 49ers win this and make it to the Super Bowl, what are you doing with Trey Lance? Because you can't.
I don't even. I talked to Kyle about this the other day. He thinks Trey Lance will be the guy. 24-29. All right. He thinks Trey Lance will be the guy. He's a Trey Lance guy. And I definitely think they're not going to just trade him personally. They need two quarterbacks regardless. Jimmy G's gone, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jimmy G's gone.
I think it's going to be an open comp. I think this is going to be an open competition. They have way more invested into Trey Lance than Brock. Brock was the last pick. Trey Lance was the third pick, which they traded 3 first-round picks for. So
I think
to
that's
just trade him would look stupid. That is the biggest thing. If not for that, if it was vice versa and Purdy was the third pick, Lance would be getting traded to Miami, to Atlanta, somewhere.
I saw one Tennessee since they decided
Tennessee
from it. I was like, I could see that because you got Trey Lance, you'd have Henry back there. You have a new star type situation.
They signed Malik Willis, right? Like drafted him. I mean, and he's a mobile quarterback. I'm saying, but he's mobile.
Like, oh yeah.
So they might want that as their system now.
Yeah.
Mobile quarterbacks. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be an interesting offseason for San Fran.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to lose this game. And then the rumors are going to start heating up. You'll
Yeah.
probably hear if Purdy struggles this game, like throws interceptions and looks horrible, Tom Brady rumors will heat up to San Fran. I'm telling you right now.
Mm-hmm. I still think
Because
he ends
they'll
up in Oakland. Or not Oakland, Las Vegas.
Yeah, that's true. So everybody, just want to take a quick break and let you know, thank you for joining us on E2G Sports YouTube channel, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're joining us from. Thank you. We really appreciate the support. We're closing in on 900 subscribers now.
Mm-hmm.
I believe we're at like 850. So, Buddy's done a great job getting a great team of guys together, and we have a lot of variety. First Formation, The Night Shift, 305 Takes, Patriots Place, my show, The Ramsaholic, which I've done 2 shows. I will be definitely putting out more content, but with the playoffs and everything going on, it's really a dead spot right now for fantasy and certain teams. But yeah, thank you. Make sure to subscribe, hit that like button. It helps the algorithm out, and we appreciate it. So you have our 2 predictions there. Kyle had San Fran, Zach had San Fran, and I had Philadelphia. So the night game, we have the number 3 Cincinnati Bengals traveling to Kansas City to take on the number 1 seed Kansas City Chiefs at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Zach, how you feel about this game?
This one I think is kind of interesting because you have Mahomes is hurt or he's not, but he is because he had the boot in our games, but now he's walking around fine. So it's he's on a bunch of killers and stuff. And then you have Joe Burrow who's never lost to Mahomes, so I feel like that becomes a whole different thing. I feel like then Kansas City's doing that thing. Mahomes is a Houdini in his pocket. His pocket awareness is ridiculous. It's not even funny. Any other quarterback, I still think we win that game. We just couldn't get him down before he threw the ball out. But I feel like that. I still think Kansas City is the better team. I think Burrow's just he has that dog in him. He's like, I'm not going to lose that thing. So I feel like that creates a whole issue. Again, he has better receivers than Mahomes does, but I don't think. I feel like Kansas City's trying to get one more without, or this is almost like a CB did without Tyreek type situation because everyone counted us out when we trade him. So I'm still, and then you got Chris Jones, and then on their D line, which is with Kansas City's, or no, sorry, not Kansas City's, with Cincinnati's O line be hurting. I feel like he's going to make a huge difference in this game. With Jonah Williams being hurt and what's his name, Kappa. So I feel like Kansas City's still going to win this. I'm going to go in a shootout. I'm going to go 35-30.
Wow. All right. I like that. Yeah, that's so you said Kansas City 35-30, right?
Yeah.
To win?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, this is one that I keep going back and forth on. Bad. Like even right now, that's what I want to do it Thursday, and I'm like, I'll have a definite answer, but it's like, sure, Burrow's beat Mahomes 3 times, but that's in the back of his head. Sure, Cincinnati's calling this Burrowhead, sorry, not Arrowhead. They're just talking a lot of crap right now, and I think that could really backfire. Mahomes was a full participant at practice, and I seen him walk off the podium with no limp.
Yeah, that's the video. I was like, that's what I was talking about. He had no boot. I was like, what? Okay. He was hobbling 4 days earlier.
So he looks like he's ready to go. And man, I might have to go with you on this. I wanted to go Cincinnati because I know they want that revenge again back to the Super Bowl, but so does Kansas City. Kansas City's been in the AFC Championship every damn year. So
they're becoming the Patriots now, actually.
Yeah, they just need the rings now. They need the consistency. Yeah. They need this ring this year. I think Burrow needs it too. And the thing is with Kansas City, their secondary's actually been pretty good this year, low key, and their defensive line. Kyle,
it's their D line. I feel like part of it's their D line.
Yeah, but they have that rookie cornerback who's been killing it, man. So it's like Yeah, so I don't know. Like they had 55 sacks. Chris Jones is the most underrated player in football, one of them. Yeah, they definitely got those good men from Mahomes.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I want to say, man, this is tough, dude. This one's seriously tough. It's like you have the Burrow being 3-0 versus him, even in Kansas City. But Kansas City last year blew that 24-3 lead. So can they get that lead again? But if they do, are they going to blow it? Ah, man. Let me say Kansas City wins 28-27, 1-point game. Closest game I'll predict ever. I'm with you on it, man. It's close.
I feel like this game will go down. Can Cincinnati do what we failed to do and cover Travis Kelce?
I think they will.
I'll say that's the thing. That's what a lot of it's going to go down to is like Travis Kelce. He's like, I mean, it wasn't even he had yards. It was just 5-yard catch, 3-yard catch, 5 catch, and eventually they add up. So I was like, I could see him doing like that, but that will change a little bit. If they can slow him down, then I feel like they have a better chance. But if they don't,
yeah, I think we'll see Snead on him. I think Justin Reed will probably play on him, but mainly I think Snead will get on him. Cornerback. It's definitely, I think that's the guy you have to take away if you're going to beat them. Let Juju beat you. Let MVS beat you. Let Sky Moore beat you. But I don't know. I'll say Kansas City 28-27, thinking that Mahomes is going to come out hungry and want that revenge.
Yeah.
So that means I'll have a Super Bowl of Philadelphia and Kansas City, and you'll have the rematch of San Francisco and Kansas City. So we gave our predictions and our talk about each game. So who would you say is going to be this weekend's MVP of the 4 teams?
I'm going to have to go with Mahomes. I feel like, I mean, like you said, he's like revenge, trying to get back to Super Bowl. Playing. Let's say hurt. I'm not gonna say injured because I'll say he's hurt. I'll say the way he's walking, everything. So yeah, I feel like him, and then just try and prove that he can beat Burrow. Yeah, because I think the other side, with San Fran, I don't feel like it's going to be a shootout enough for one of them to get MVP. And then if you lose, I feel like you can't beat the MVP if you lose the game. That's just
100%. I agree with that. Yeah, I'm going to say it has to be a team that I'm picking to win. So I'm going to say Jalen Hurts. I think he throws out 100 rush yards and throws for another 220 and has a total of 3 touchdowns. No turnovers. And, yeah, it's going to be a great weekend of football. Honestly, I'm excited and sad at the same time because it's ending. I'm sure you're happy your team had a great run.
Yeah, I say that's the only good thing is like a lot of people it's like, yeah, we felt like we could have won. I still think like if Agnew doesn't fumble, I think we're winning that game because of that momentum that's flipped real hard.
Hell yeah.
Which no one's killing him on Twitter, which I was actually surprised with. Everyone's like, "Hey, it's not your fault. We're good with it." Because most times you fumble like that, they're like super fans are like sending death threats to you. So I respect that. That's Jags Nation for you. But I can't see it. Oh, Nick Bosa Super Bowl or San Fran MVP. I can read it.
Yeah, he put 2 sacks for Bosa. So if he does get 2 sacks, that locks it up.
Who's Who's Philly's left tackle? I know Lane Johnson's on the right.
That guy, the one that sings so good. I forgot to pronounce his name.
Because I know,
but he's allowed 6 sacks this year, and then Lane Johnson hasn't allowed 1 sack. So I doubt he's going to go where Lane Johnson is.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you avoid Lane Johnson.
Kyle, can you put his last name in the chat? I forgot. It's the one that their right tackle, left tackle.
I'll say left, yeah.
I
know they do. They have arguably the best center in football with Kelce, which I feel like this is his last year. I feel like this is last year. He's hit it at it a little bit.
34, right? 34, 35?
Yeah, it's like which
feels like he's been playing since like the 1990s, dude.
Yeah, and he's just dominating everybody. That actually would be a cool matchup, but I'm so second with 49ers. To have him and his brother versus each other in Super Bowl.
That's I know because they got
That's
that.
your
Yeah,
pick.
that's my pick. Well, they got their podcast together, dude. They could
Yeah.
do a lot of podcasts for that first week.
Like a whole.
Yeah. Oh, Philly's tough, dude. I was really sleeping on Hurts, man.
Mm-hmm. I think we all
Everybody's wrong. Everybody gets players wrong. Everybody gets players right.
If he hadn't got hurt, he's MVP.
I think so. It's going to be Mahomes. Though Mahomes had
it's going to be Mahomes. But if Hurts hadn't got hurt, I think it would have been Hurts.
Yeah, because he would have been close to 1,000 rush yards. There it is. Malatia. See, it's so hard.
There you go.
But he's the one that when they drop albums, he sings. He sings
like
he's on The Voice or the Masked Singer, whatever that show is.
Yeah, because I saw him, and because I saw the one with Kelsey singing with him. I was like, okay, that's what it's got you.
Yeah. So I know Kyle's excited. Kyle was just taking a little break, but he'll be back on the night shift like when Dynasty starts up and everything. So yeah, we'll just keep it moving. Zach, you have any last words?
No, I think I'm pretty good. I mean, like I said, it is like you said though. It's a little sad though that the football we got three games arguably because the Pro Bowl is no longer a game anymore. Which it was
looking forward to
game. It hasn't been a game in 15 years.
Right.
Because all this lack of tackle. But so we got 3, and then they've got a huge break till NFL's back. I mean, we do have like the fan control league and the USFL and XFL, but
I'm just gonna be watching football. Celtics basketball. I'll probably do Celtics.
Agreed. Same with me, man. Celtics do it all, man.
Yeah. So Nino, I know Nino said he would do it with us. So I know you're a Celtics fan. So we'll talk to Buddy and maybe get a little Celtics show going. Kill some time. All right, everyone. Yeah, for they're gonna win a championship.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle, for tuning in, man. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, everyone. That's it for the day shift, night shift, whatever you want to call it. Enjoy your day. Enjoy the games this weekend. Enjoy the drinks and the food and family and friends that you'll be watching it with. Make sure to subscribe to E2G Sports. Check out the website. Check out the videos on YouTube or any podcast application you may use.
Actually, let me say one thing real quick.
Yeah.
Before we cut off.
Yeah.
I just want to wish my sister happy birthday, man. This is her birthday today, man. I just got to shout her out a little bit.
Happy birthday, man. Absolutely.
For real, I was like, I gotta get in there for her.
For real, man.
She'll kill me if I say her age, so I can't do that.
Yeah, sometimes that's better with women, man.
Yeah,
pissed off. But hey, happy birthday to your sister too. For real. I'm at Shay tweeted that on Twitter.
I'm Blindside 73 at Twitter.
Yes, sir. Take it easy, everyone.